Mr. Smith, congratulations. Why do you think my Democratic colleagues are so keen to solicit your opinion about who won the election?
Senator Kennedy, I don't mean to speculate about what they are doing. It has been a consistent theme I've seen in hearings.
Go ahead.
I want to be very careful, Senator. I think that's an issue of political importance to people. It's something that has become a theme that apparently some senators think is worthy of putting on the video clips to share with their friends and followers.
Well, the suggestion has been made, and I've heard it made several times by some of my colleagues. In fact, my friend Senator Durbin just made it, that somehow if you don't disagree with the president's position on the election, it proves you can't stand up to the president. Is that true? Is that the way you understand the question?
I think you're right, Senator. I think that is the framing of the question. And
well, when you're on the bench, if you're confirmed, and you have to make a decision in a case, you think the president's going to be aware of every case you have to make a decision in?
I would expect not, Senator.
Yeah. You expect him to call you up and say, here's how I think you ought to vote?
I would not anticipate that, Senator.
Are you going to call him up and say, how do you think I ought to vote?
I would certainly not be doing that, Senator.
It's kind of absurd, don't you think?
I would agree, Senator.
In this scenario?
And Senator, if I may, the very last time I stood up in the Court of Appeals in February of the Ninth Circuit, I was adverse to this administration. The Department of Justice was arguing against me.
Do you think it's okay as an American? I'm not talking about yourself as a judicial nominee. Do you think it's okay as an American to disagree with the president?
Senator, I disagree with you people that I'm very close with, so I do agree.
Do you think it's okay to agree with a position or a comment made by a president?
I think it's all right to, I think people agree and disagree on things all the time.
Yeah. Do you agree with everything President Biden said or did?
Senator, I don't believe I probably did agree or disagree with everything he said, no.
Okay. Do you?
A tense Senate hearing moment is going viral after a nominee is pressed on election views, presidential influence, and judicial independence. The exchange quickly turns into a deeper debate about the Constitution, the role of the courts, and who really decides what's right in America. Watch the full breakdown and decide for yourself.
Well, strike that. Do you agree with everything President Trump has said or done?
Senator, I am sure there are things that I don't agree with.
Yeah, okay. And if you disagree, let's say, with the president about something he or she has said or done, and you've got one opinion as an American, the president has another opinion, and it's debated publicly across America, who ultimately gets to decide who's right?
Well, sir, I think the Constitution and the rule of law would decide, and that was what I would be applying faithfully and fairly to whoever the parties were before me.
Do you think the press gets to decide?
No, Senator.
The American people get to decide, don't they?
The American people do have a really important part with electing our officials.
They get to listen to they get to watch the dialectic, the competing ideas, and say, well, we kind of agree with this one and we disagree with that one. What's wrong with that?
I think the founders set up that very system where the people would make the decisions on who was leading the country.
Okay. I'm almost out of time. Are you an originalist?
I am, Senator.
What does that mean?
An originalist, when it comes to interpreting the Constitution, is attempting to determine the original public meaning of whatever provision.
What do you mean
is
by
at issue.
public meaning?
How whatever the provision at issue is, how it was understood by the people at the time of its
By the people.
ratification.
Why don't we look at the intent of the drafters?
I think that is part of the process, Senator. There are lots of different sources that you consult to determine.
You think the people at the time the Constitution was approved, my guess is they were busy, kind of like Americans today, earning a living. You think they pored over the Constitution and read every single word and thought about the consequences in the future? I mean, why does the public meaning, I'm not saying you're wrong, but why does the public meaning matter more than the drafter's intention?
I think as you look at opinions from like Justice Scalia in the Heller case, there are many different historical sources you look at to understand what the words meant that the drafters wrote and adopted.
Yeah, but why the people? Why would we say it's the public meaning by the people instead of what the drafters intended? That's all I'm asking you. There's no right or wrong answer. The chairman's going to cut me off here in a second, like a dead stump. I'm just asking you why.
Yeah, well, and I think trying to understand words as they were written 230 years ago, there's an important process of consulting what the drafters said, looking at different, in Heller, they go through an extensive...
you can finish later if you want. I don't want to abuse my good friend who's letting me go on here.
Thank you, Senator.
Questioning or political pressure? Please, don't forget to like, comment and click on the subscribers